What's up, everybody? It's my next project. I'm gonna restore this Sega Saturn. I got it on eBay for $56. I think it's a bit of a rip, quite annoying. A lot of these people think they can sell consoles for a lot of money, even though it's pretty much just junk, right? I see a lot of rust in the back where that laser's at. It was listed as non-functional due to the laser, so I wasn't expecting the laser to work. I ordered a what's it called, a Saru. It's like there's a lot of rust buildup on there, especially on the sides there. Hopefully the cartridge slot works, and cartridge slot doesn't look too bad. I'm hoping there's not roaches in this dang thing. It doesn't look like there is. Just a lot of rust. This console is quite beat up as expected, but typically when you look at the bottom here, you can tell how rusty it is due to the RF shield here. Not a lot on the bottom, but yeah, it comes with the back port cover for the battery, and I'm just gonna clean this up first. I noticed, I saw on listing that it's missing a screw there, so not sure what that's about. We'll find out. My steps are, I'm gonna clean it up. If it works, I don't expect the laser to work, obviously. I just don't wanna put nice cords and controller ports inside a dirty console. You just never know how the connections could be bad due to a lot of dust and all kinds of crap that's inside. So I don't want to put my clean rad 2X and power cables and controllers into these slots here, which are obviously dirty. So, but yeah, all right, we'll see how this looks. Get a good look at it of how scratched up it is. A lot of these they seem like they're fixable with the magic eraser. I'll use it sparingly around here. A lot of scuffs and whatnot. I think the biggest problem is going to be taking the rust out, but we'll see how that goes. And hopefully the cartridge slot isn't too corroded, because I want to use a Saru on this thing. This is going to be my junker console. I'm going to replace the capacitors after. We'll see how well it works, but I plan on replacing the capacitors on here. And maybe changing out the laser in the future, just to make sure it's fully functional. I'm probably going to get the laser from AliExpress, but when I take it apart, I'm going to get the part numbers for console 5 and see what kind of a laser order on it. But I do plan on using a Saru on here, so I plan on taking my time with this thing. So really sick right now. I'm on that Dayquil, so yeah. All right, pretty dirty console, rusted up on the inside. Obviously I'm gonna open it up. So I got it open, and it's not as bad as what I thought it would be on the inside, and looks like the ribbon cable was not connected. Not sure if that definitely played a factor. Looks like someone was in here already, obviously, and that cable is not connected as well. But I don't see any signs of roach guts and all that in here, so that makes it a lot easier to clean. It's a lot of corrosion right here. I'm thinking I'm gonna dip this in some sort of a vinegar, maybe. Scrape out the rust. The rust is pretty bad. I'm hoping the cartridge port still works, but we'll see. I'm gonna break this down further, and even the inside of the top shell ain't that dirty either. I mean, it's of course dirty, but I've seen worse. All right, I've seen roach infested consoles that I've worked on, and it's just disgusting. And take down guts everywhere, but I'm gonna break this down further, obviously. Something also I noticed, the power is definitely not put back together correctly. Look at that, touching against that, and whoever did this put it together quickly and obviously didn't put it together correctly. So, all right. Notice that this is broken here. I suspected that would be the case because there was a missing screw here. So there are ways around that. All right, finally got it to the board and was surprised that there were no roaches, tons of little low profile capacitors. I did notice some liquid damage over here. Can't really capture that. Let me see here if I can show this. Look at that liquid damage here. So I'll probably have to desolder this and get rid of the rust. And of course there's rust there. And there's obvious signs of liquid that came over here. I can clean this up. I'll probably dip this in vinegar and use a copper brush to scrape off the rust. You can see, look at that. Someone spilled something in here. And someone was definitely in here before, obviously. This is weird, look at this. It's like a weird, what is that? Looks like an end to like a Band-Aid or something, but trash. But this Saturn was not well looked after, and there's a screw here, and I don't think the screws were in the right places, but this one's rusted beyond repair, maybe. I'm gonna probably put that in vinegar too and WD-40, but this screw is stripped too, so whoever put it together just had no shits given. I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna test it and see if it's even worth replacing the capacitors on here. So, all right. This is round 2 soaking the plastic parts. I dumped out the old ones pretty brown. So this is round 2, and after that I'm gonna rinse it off with some regular water without any soap. So I eventually got the cartridge poured out. It's pretty rusted. It is soaking in vinegar right now. Where is it? This one part is pretty rusted badly. So I'm gonna let that soak overnight. I rinsed off these two in soapy water. Some parts are rusted. You can see some parts there and right there, and pretty bad over here. So I'm thinking about dipping this in vinegar in this tub after I'm done with it, and maybe after I get all the rust off, thinking about submerging it in WD-40 and letting it completely air dry out and see how it looks after that. Or I might even spray paint it, but I don't think I'll do that because I don't like the smell of spray paint. And but we'll see. But yeah, so far looking so good. Yep. Here's the bottom shield. This came out really well. And same thing, took off all the rust, washed it down after I did a vinegar bath, dried it off, and sprayed it down with some lubricant, and wiped it down with a rag with isopropyl alcohol, and then took a lot of the rust off. Great. It's just the top shielding that's the biggest problem. So I had a problem with flash rust after I soaked it in vinegar for over a day, scrubbed off all the rust, ran it under water with some Dawn soap, and just kept developing rust so fast within seconds, just the whole thing. And I think this is the best way to approach it at this point. So I used Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer. I'm gonna spray this down, let it dry off till tomorrow, and I'll do the other side. So if any of y'all have the same problem, if y'all have a rusty RF shell for the Sega Saturn on top and you use vinegar or some sort of rust remover, Just know that this top shield has problems with flash rust, and that's a real bummer. But it's we'll see how this coating goes, and yep. All right, so I individually cleaned every screw after I did a vinegar treatment on it. There's a lot of rust on them, and I cleaned each one up, brushed them all off, and got rid of the rust. Now I'm just soaking them in WD-40, a little bit of a mess, but that's what I'm doing. So this right here is the cartridge slot, and there's a, you can actually see through it at this end. That's where it rusted. I noticed something in the laser. Again, I haven't tested the system out. It's very clean, and I noticed that the anti-static solder blob is still on there. So I'm guessing that whoever tested this laser assembly just threw in a new laser and didn't know to remove that, and just quickly threw it all together and got rid of it. I'm hoping that this laser works. I'm about to piece everything together temporarily, and of course I'm going to desolder that. We'll see if it works. All right, I pieced it all together. I'm going to put the top lid on, and we're going to give it a shot. All right, here's the top cover that I got back on. Came out all right. Yep, real nice. All right, so we're about to see if this thing even powers on. All right, let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. Ooh, it does work. That's good. It's got screen. It's got a video signal. Okay. I am very tired, y'all, so please bear with me here. Okay, I put a CMOS battery in there as well. Okay. Let me set this up. It's November, I can't remember the date. What is today? All right, got the date in. Okay, drive empty. About to test out a disk. Okay, about to test this out. I don't think it's gonna work, but we'll see. It's making a sound. Oh, it is checking. What's gonna happen? I can't believe it. If it works, that would be crazy. It is checking the disk. It's thinking. All right, I don't think this is gonna make any difference, but let me try another disc. And I didn't expect it to work anyways, but I can hear the laser going off. Let's see if this disc is spinning in there. That's a good sign, but don't know why it's not playing a music CD. That's all I have at the moment. Oh well. All right, I have a surprise. Let's see if this works. Okay, this is the surprise. I got this from AliExpress, a Saru. Let's see if the cartridge port works. If this doesn't work, then I'll be a little sad, but we'll see. All right, let's see. Okay, boots up. Nice. Please work. Oh, it looks like it's doing something. Oh, yes, cartridge port does work. Great. That's great news. Okay. Now let's see. This is the first time I booted this, so I'm gonna go to select game and see how this looks. Okay. Now let's try. I got the NTSC one, but it looks like they threw in some Japanese games in here too, like the big ones that use the cartridge port. If you toggle left, it also brings out the box art too, which is cool. Let's see here. I'm looking for some Street Fighter games. Okay, I know Street Fighter 03 uses it, but let's see if they have X-Men versus Street Fighter. Let's see if that works, okay? All right, I'm happy the cartridge port works at least. All right, let's see what happens. That's cool looking. Oh, it's working good so far. I'm excited. At least I got that working. Bummer about the disk drive, but I can always look at that at a later time. The next step I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to recap the board, the power supply, and maybe the disk drive, and switch out the laser, see if that works. Well, I was hoping that since I removed that solder blob, that the disk would have worked, you know, but oh well. It also came with a mod chip too, Universal Mod Chip version 3, and I didn't know what that was until I just happened to stumble upon it doing some research, because it did come with it, and I might install that too, but that all depends if I can get that disk drive working. But it was spinning and it was reading, I could hear it. But other than that, I mean, the reason why I even want to work on this Saturn is because of the Saru. I just think it's so cool you can run games off the cartridge port. So everything's working great so far. All right, till next time.